Hey everyone, welcome back. I am here with Coach Bear from Mittworks that is partnered with TaylorMade Boxing.
G'day, g'day.
How are you doing today, Coach Bear?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Good. Awesome. So, Coach Bear, you have a program, like I said, called Mittworks and TaylorMade Boxing.
Mm-hmm.
It's here at 42 South River Road inside of Hive Therapy Health and Fitness. It is a gym, everyone. It's a gym here.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. So, tell us a little bit about you and let's get started.
What do you want to know?
Let's find out how Mittworks came to be. How does that sound?
Midwork started about 20 plus years ago. I worked in with juvenile justice services. I worked in detention, youth detention area, and during that time we would have kids that were kind of, pretty rowdy, having a lot of issues, a lot of anger issues and whatnot. So, and it was overcrowding back then. We had like 10 pods, but we had a lot of kids, up to 30 plus kids. So do the numbers.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? So anyways, we needed something to kind of keep the kids occupied and cool them down. And me being a former boxer and understanding, some of the tools that boxing uses, it can help. So I thought, well, why don't I bring my mitts down and kind of have some of the kids do it?
Oh, yeah.
And it helped.
Yeah, that's cool. So what does MIT stand for in Mittworks?
It's moving intentions toward tranquility.
Okay.
So in the process of doing that, I started seeing that kids were able to regulate their emotions because they weren't getting the mitts down. They weren't getting the combinations down. They tried to memorize it. But I told them, no, you got to feel it. And a lot of it is they have to calm down. So I think the main foundation of Mittworks is to teach them how to breathe. We want them to breathe, and the goal of it is to kind of help boxers be calm in stressful situations.
Yeah.
Okay. We have a saying in boxing, there's three things we look for in the boxing ring. We want to be able to see what's coming, know how to react to what's coming, and then know how to counter-react to what just happened. And we have to see those three things happen as it happens in the ring, in seconds. So in order to see that, you have to have that calm mindset. It's the boxer's mindset, I call it. So in order to get to that mindset, it takes a breath. Not just any breath, but it has to be an intentional breath. So meaning, I'm going to get through this. I can do this. And saying that, positive affirmations, behind that. And then once they get into that calm mindset, they're able to kind of see those three things. So they take that part that they see in the ring and they can use it in their life as well. Be able to anticipate, react, and adapt to the struggles of life in the ring and as well as in life.
Yeah, I hear you say feed a lot.
Feed, yeah.
Feed.
So when we're doing the mitt works, if they get stuck or they get frustrated because they can't get the sets down, I tell them feed. And that feed is feeding the brain oxygen. So in order to do that, take a good breath, and I always say fixed. And I want them to associate a breath with whatever it is you're struggling with mentally. It's fixed now because you took that breath. And usually once they take that breath, then I go, okay, fixed. And we go right back into it, and it comes perfect.
Well, that's
it
cool.
flows right through it because they keep in that mindset. So it's been pretty cool watching that transform.
Awesome. So how did you go from Mittworks, from starting Mittworks into partnering with TaylorMade Boxing?
Oh, that's a story, man.
Let's hear it. We're here for the story.
Okay, so I used to help out at Legends Boxing. Am I allowed to say that?
I think so.
Yeah,
hey,
Boxing.
Liz,
It's a good program.
Yeah.
It's a good program. And I used to help them out over there. And the deal was, that they would let me kind of do Mittworks with some of their members and bring some of my clients there as well. And I used to do clients here at Hive Therapy. So I was doing helping some of their members go through Mittworks. I met Taylor. And Taylor was one of the owners there.
Yeah.
Did you know that for Legends?
No, I had no idea.
I didn't even know.
I just know he's quiet and shows up sometimes.
He's the behind the
chill.
scenes kind of dude,
Yeah.
And I would see them walking around saying, who's this guy? He just keeps walking around. You know who he is. And then finally I got to meet him. He was one of the owners. So, and then when I found out that he was a ex-police officer and that he's been involved with a lot of critical incidents during his career, I was like, damn, dude, hey, I got this program, Mittworks. You want to try it? And he said, sure. So after one of the practice sessions we had there at Legends, I kind of did a session with him, and we kind of connected. One thing about MittWorks is there's an instant connection between the Mitt trainer and the Mitt, member that's going. And we connected and kind of got to know Taylor a little bit better. And then through that, I guess some things were being moved around at Legends at the time. And Taylor just thought, oh, it's time for me to move on. I want to build my own gym. So I said, what? I said, what are you going to do with this one? So I want to sell this part, but I want to build my own gym. I say, cool. Yeah, but I want to build it with you if you're down. I said, oh, yeah, sure, let's do it. I said, all we need is to find a place. And I said, oh, wait, you know what? I think I got a place. And he goes, really? I said, yeah, where? So I brought him here to Hive Therapy. Shout out to Josh. Josh in the house. Josh Morin,
is the man.
a.k.a. MacGyver.
No call outs to the audio room.
So, anyways, we came here, introduced to Josh, and then we just connected and started talking. And he said Josh gave us a space on the side where I usually do my MittWorks with some of the members, and then we just started building piece by piece.
Yeah.
And it's been a blessing to watch it.
Yeah.
Grow. And really shout out to Josh for letting us open up shop and create the family environment here.
Oh, yeah, I remember when you guys were first starting, right? My mom kept saying, you got to bring your husband. You got to come. Coach Bear, he's so cool. You got to come check it out. Just come check it out. And I did, and I feel like I've been there every day since almost. I mean, a few days missed, but like since April. Since before, the grand opening. I've been there, and
you're part of the family, man.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a big part.
That's the biggest thing about TaylorMade Boxing and MittWorks is like once you're in, you're family. It doesn't matter. You step into there, your family. Everybody greets you. Everybody, is there for you. And you guys have the 3 C's, right?
Yes.
So let's go ahead and hear about those 3 C's.
It's connection, contribute, and compete. Just like in life. Not just in boxing, but in life. We're always trying to connect with people. We encourage that to our members to connect. And then to contribute, always give back. You have to give back. If not to a program or an event, give back to somebody. And it could be something as simple as time. Just time. Giving someone time to listen to them and understand where they're coming from. And I think that's why we're so blessed with TaylorMade Boxing. And the collaboration is because the coaches we have, our product, honestly, straight up, is our coaches.
Yeah, they're amazing.
I mean, they're hardworking coaches. They have full-time jobs, but they come here for the love of boxing. And the effort and the compassion they put into the members and teaching them how the correct way of doing boxing. And they're patient and they're understanding it. And I'm just blown away at how they do it. And that's when I was like, man, we got something here.
Oh yeah, Coach Carla, Coach Danny, even the kid coaches, like they are just so much fun. They always include everyone, always smile. Like it's just such a great environment when you step in.
Yes, and I've seen kids and members come in that they were quiet, and now we can't shut them up. I mean, they're so comfortable there now, and I love it. I mean, it's perfect. And it's a blessing to kind of see that. And that's the kind of environment we wanted. And it's kind of carrying on. And a lot of people are coming in. I mean, people are asking, more about how can they join.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. So one of the big words is connection, right? And so, when I'm going to start crying. When I first started coming, I was going through a really hard time. And, you're like, hey, let's do some MittWorks. Let's just do some work. And I went and you said, I know about your challenge. And for me, you were meaning like your health journey, your health challenge. And to me, it was my mental challenge. And I just remember I cried, but I was able to work it out.
You did.
You told me feed, and I breathed it out, and I was able to go harder and work better because I took that emotion, and worked it out.
Yeah.
And it's easier to talk about. It's easier to go through now because, now especially now, like boxing is so big. It's a big part of my life, and you know, going to boxing every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. It just even just to record or see the kids, you know, that means something to me. Anyway, enough of my crying.
No, hey, no, for real. I mean, with that, just that moment changed.
Yeah.
Because now, since that moment, it kind of empowered you to contribute.
Yeah.
Because now you made the connection, and now you're contributing by coming every day. You smile, you listen to the coaches, and like I said, I could be on one side, you know, working with one of our guys, love it, and
love it,
and love it, and I'll be working with him, and I can hear you across the floor. No, you need to take your step, pivot, push off your back. I'm like, wow, look at that. You know what I'm saying? You've been with us long enough to understand how to contribute. You know what the right way of doing it, and you become a coach in a way with us.
Yeah,
and appreciate that.
Yeah, and it's, you know, and you guys are the reason I stay around. You know, just it's fun. You know, like you said, everybody who goes there has a full-time job.
Yeah.
So speaking of your full-time job, you know, not only do you work with the youth, but you also have done coaching for a while, right? So let's hear a little bit about that and what Team Raw, right? Team Raw. Let's hear a little bit about Team Raw and their how that has also contributed into this.
Team Raw is a program we started up. I was one of the founders. It's an acronym, Team Raw, TEAMRAW. It's to educate and motivate the ready and willing. It's a youth outreach program, basically a mentoring program. But we started about 25 years ago, and a lot of it was trying to make a connection with the most hard-to-reach kids in our community and kind of give them better choices, you know, and better resources to kind of help them be more productive, not only in school, at home, but in life,
Yeah.
And we've been around for about 25 years. You know, we've been doing the work. Our team of five team members, and we go to all the high schools, all the middle schools, and it's been a journey, man, watching that, and I love it. I love working with youth, and especially being part of this community, you know, making sure that this community, you know, flows well with the youth. Our team is pretty much a big advocate of youth.
Yeah.
You know, trying to get them, you know, be more productive and successful in life, And a lot of it goes right in line with what we do here.
Yeah.
Connection, contribute, and compete.
Yeah, and
be the best you can.
I've heard you tell some of the kids, hey, if you know anyone who's, you know, they're ready to fight, they're whatever, you tell them, come here. We'll work it out with them. You guys can, you know, figure it out here.
Yeah. We had a old gym back at the Crisis Center when we first started, and we had our boxing classes there. We would have up to 75 kids come to our gym out there.
Wow.
And we would have sparring, and it was mutual respect among everybody. No one fought each other. We left it in the ring, and they trained and worked hard together, and then they sparred together. And I think that's what set, you know, that it was pretty much the foundation of Team Raw, because then we had everybody come. We had kids from different gangs, you know, come under one roof, and the rule was you come here, you don't bring none of that drama into the gym.
Yeah.
You come here and you respect each other, and it's just grown from there. And 25 years later, we're still chilling. Got a little gray, you know what I'm saying? A little gray.
So let's learn a little bit about how you got into boxing. Like, who inspired you to become a boxer?
It's probably going to be a boring story, but boxing wasn't my thing. It was like my uncle, Fa'amela Sivaiwai Alo. He was our pro boxer in our family, and he passed away very young. But while he was alive, he trained me and his son, young Fa, who also passed away. Rest in peace. But just watching him, you know, boxing, and even growing up in his household and going over to his house, all you could hear, it sounded like a house full of snakes everywhere you went. It's like, I was like, oh, what the? So it was just automatic. And I got into boxing with him, boxed with my cousin in Hawaii. And then from there, I joined the military, went to California, and joined the Army, and then fought overseas in Europe.
Wow.
But it wasn't my thing. And the big reason why is because the work,
Mm.
bro. It's not for everybody.
No.
If you're gonna compete, you're gonna work.
Yeah.
You will work, and that wasn't my thing. I mean, I didn't want to. Boxing wasn't my thing. I mean, I like to fight, but the work. So I was cool with that, and I found different things to do. I was pretty athletic when I was growing up, but what I found out later in life was my passion was coaching.
Wow.
Was coaching. So that's how I started coaching my own sons how to box. You know, taking what my uncle taught me. Everyone in my family, we have a family combination that we have, and everyone in my family knows it. And I started sharing that with kids here in the community. I started doing that, and then branched off into football. I also coached football. Coached at a couple of local high schools.
Oh, wow.
Desert Hills and Dixie High School.
Okay.
Varsity. Yeah, won the first state championship at Desert Hills High School. Shout out to Coach Frankie and the crew.
Wow.
But it was fun. It was a good journey. But that's always been my passion, is coaching.
Yeah. And you're a great coach. You really are. The kids listen to you. They love you. Like, I hear them talk all the time. I want to work with Coach Bear. That's what they always say. I want to work with Coach Bear.
I have a pocket full of candy. Don't let them fool you. Got a pocket full of Snicker bars.
Let's go a little bit about into your passion of teaching and coaching. So we talked a little bit about how that got started, right? And so let's just talk about how your passion there.
It started with I wanted to. I know it sounds cliche right here, but I wanted to make this world a better place. No, for real.
No, I believe you.
But the best way for me, I found out, to do that was to start my own community. I wanted a world perfect for my sons.
Oh, wow.
And I said the best way to do it is to start with my community. If I know the kids that are messing up and making the wrong, bad decisions, maybe if I change their life, they might not affect my sons in some way, shape, or form. And in that goal, starting with that, I just started. I mean, it's been a passion of helping these kids and watching them, and now see them as adults now.
Oh, yeah.
And coming back, and then most of them know my sons, and my sons would come in. You know, they grew up with them as well, coming to the SummerSlam programs and whatnot. But the goal was achieved. I mean, they both graduated. One's still in college. The other one's married with 5 beautiful boys.
Wow.
5 grandkids, 5 dogs up and coming.
Hey.
Yep. Hopefully they golf, but but it's been a blessing to watch that, and now I love that they love giving back as well. They love helping people out, and I love that part about both of my sons.
That's awesome. Family is just so important.
Yeah.
And like Michael Jackson said, you gotta start with the man in the mirror, right?
Man, you just dropped that one right here.
I just dropped it.
Shout out to Michael Jackson.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
So
Starts with the man in the mirror.
For real though, like you have to take a second to look in the mirror and be like, am I going to be the change, or am I going to stay the same?
The key is doing that. How many people actually do that? They hear it, but do you actually? Because everyone's like, I'm not going to stand and talk in the mirror. I do it a lot. It's probably weird, but I'm looking and I said, hey, we're going to get through this. You have to.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I know. I actually, the start of my health journey, I stood in the mirror because it was said you had to do it. Look at yourself, your eyes. You got to look right into your eyes in the mirror and say, I could do hard things.
Yes.
And this is a hard thing to do, but you are worth it.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You got to look and say you're worth it, and it's going to be worth it for you for the future. Like
Positive
you said, you want to make
affirmations.
Yeah.
Manifesting, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
It works. It really does.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to say it, but not only that, you got to believe it.
Mm-hmm.
You believe it, then you become it,
Mm-hmm.
And it's true.
You say it until until it comes true.
Yeah.
That's what you have to do. So let's talk a little bit about Mittwork's philosophy. So tell us a little bit about that.
Again, it's moving your intentions toward tranquility. It's trying to teach people how to be, be graceful under pressure. I think that's the best way to put it. The whole bilateral stimulation part, that's the secret, is teaching them how to breathe. I mean, a lot of people don't like going to the gym or doing different kinds of stuff, but that this thing right here, the bilateral, going back and forth, throwing the punches, feeling the mitts and the gloves hitting the focus mitts. It's a different feeling, man. It's addicting. And if you hold it right and you make that right sound, it just empowers you, man. You just start. I've seen people transition from being quiet, and then they're like breathing hard. They look like fiends. They're like, more, more.
I
And I'm
think
going, yes, you're there. Easy. Take it easy, bro. Take a breath. Feed. Okay.
Let's go again.
And we can turn it up. We can turn it down. And then I tell them when they go out into, when they start going. I've worked with couples, police officers, veterans, youth, challenging youth who've had issues, regulating their emotions. But when I'm throwing punches at them and they have to throw punches back at me and they have to catch and slip and roll, that's like, oh, I can't do that. And then I say, yeah, you can. Feed. And once they get into that mindset and they think they got it, then I say, okay, now I'm going to talk to you. And when I talk to you, I want you to keep doing the sets. They're like, oh, no, I can't do that. Yeah, you can. So we start, pat, 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 pat. So how's your day? And they have to stop. I said, feed. And just by practice, just doing that, that's why you see Johnny. He's a good example. You see him do his sets, and he does this. He's looking around. He's doing he's just in the moment.
Yeah.
He's able to see what's going on over here and still stay in the moment. A good example of that is to try and find, there's a YouTube video of Mayweather, great boxer. He's in the middle of a championship fight. He's defending his title. And he's in the middle, I don't know what round it was, but he's boxing. And then the announcers are sitting right there. And I'm watching TV, and they're talking on the TV. Yeah, and this is Mayweather's sixth bout, and he's trying to defend it 6 times. In the middle of his fight, he turns to the announcer and says, it's 7. He goes, it's 7. In the middle of his fight. I was like, that was my wow moment. I said, he's in the middle of a fight, but yet he was able to hear what the announcers were talking about and corrected what the announcer said.
That's crazy.
That's like some calm,
some calm energy.
Calm energy to where he's not even worried about the fight. He answered the question. So I wanted to dig deeper on how does he get this mindset. And then when I found out his mid-work technique, everybody is a hater on it. But they don't realize that he's not doing it for technique. He's doing it for meditation.
Wow.
It's a nonstop back and forth rotation. And he's chewing gum, talking to his uncle, and going through it. So what we do with mitt works, we teach 3 styles of mitt work. One mitt work we teach for reactionary, which is your traditional mitt work. And then we have the cardio fitness mitt work, where we gas you out. It's a good work. You did miss it. It's a workout.
It is.
And
I think we went for 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes.
Straight.
Take a breath. Okay, let's go again.
And then the third one is the mental focus. And that's to teach you how to get the boxer's mindset.
Yeah.
And getting those 3 things, anticipate, react, and adapt. Once you get that down and get that mindset, you're set, man.
Yeah.
You're set. You can do hard things from there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yesterday I did some mitt work with Coach Carla. And she's like, record yourself. I'm like, all right, we'll record. Just like you did, And so we recorded yesterday. And she's like, dang, you got it. I said, let's go again. Exactly what you said. You're like, come on, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Yep. It's that feel of, I got it. And I was able to to keep doing it. And we were talking. And you could I hear you in the background. Dang.
Yep. Remember, don't get too focused on the movement. Focus on the mindset.
Yeah.
That's what you want to focus on. It's not the movement. Movement is easy. But if you can have the mindset behind the movements, man, you master that, easy.
Yeah.
Then you got it. Then you'll be like this fool right here, moving intentions toward tranquility. Big bear right there. That's why I love that symbol. I wanted that bear. Not for me, but he's just chilling. Walking the line, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, that's
I know I
deep.
just threw that out. Good eye, Mike.
So let's talk about a little bit about the classes that you offer, right? So you have Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you have a youth class
At 6 o'clock.
at 6 o'clock. Then you have a young adult / fitness class, right?
At
And
7.
7.
And then it looks like we're going to have to move the youth class, our little
Mhm.
champs class, down
Mhm.
to 5 o'clock.
Okay.
And then we'll have young adults at 6, and then we're going to have adults
Okay.
at 7.
That's
Also, we're looking for some seniors out there. Come on, I need my seniors, man, my peoples, man.
Movement
They
is
just need to try it one time. I met
Yeah.
a couple here. They were awesome. But I know as we get older, it gets harder to move.
Yeah.
But the less you move, the you lose. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So even the bilateral, and we're able to do mitts seated mitt work.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's
So yeah, it's possible. You still get a good workout in the bilateral. You don't have to kill the mitts. It's
Mhm.
just this part moving back and forth. you
Yeah,
know?
constantly moving.
Constantly.
That consistency is a big word for a lot of people on their health journey.
Yeah.
Consistency, being consistent. That's what's really going to help you.
Showing up and doing the work and being
Yep.
consistent. Tuesday and Thursdays are our competition,
Okay.
and that's run by our coach Pano, CTL. So he runs our competition. Basically, our competition guys come all 5 days.
Oh yeah.
All 5 days. Tuesday and Thursday is strictly for them to get that
Mhm.
extra technique down and that work in, and then they spar.
Yeah. I had the pleasure of watching the sparring the last
Ah.
week, and I was like crazy. I was recording. I think before I stripped all the background audio, I was like, dang, every time.
They were cracking.
They were cracking. It was crazy. And I see where cardio and the mindset really
Yeah,
comes in.
because you can lose it. You can
Yeah.
lose it in there. If you lose that mindset during a sparring or during a fight, yeah, you've
Mhm.
lost the fight.
Yeah.
You've got to be calm enough to cut. You're going to get hit. That's the rule in boxing. I tell people, in boxing, you're going to get hit. The key is not to get hit a lot,
Yeah.
right? That's the goal. And it just keeps sticking and moving. But with tailor-made boxing, I love it collaborating with Taylor
Mm-hmm.
and with the coaches, because we're not trying to blow up right now. Right now, we
Mhm.
only have 2 classes, 3 days a week, and we're good with that. We want to make sure we give these people who come right now the best experience they can have.
Yeah.
And then from there, we'll add. We add as we go, and we want to do it right. We're an old style boxing gym. That's what we want to
Mhm.
put out. We're not, there's some great gyms out there. Don't get me wrong. There's some good gyms on AP. Shout out to AP Boxing, Southern Utah Boxing, Ace Reese,
Mhm.
with his program out there. But with our boxing, we want to keep it old school.
Mhm.
Keep everything that connection, contribute, and compete. That's the basic. We want a place just like the barbershop. We
Yeah.
want people to come here and feel safe and just have fun and get a good workout in. The best part, too, we're connected to this gym.
Yeah. That's
We're the
huge.
only boxing gym that does that.
Yeah.
We're the only gym that's connected, that's with a gym,
Mhm.
a fitness gym. And the hive's been great. The people here have been awesome. There's no, battle of the gym space. We have
Mhm.
members come by and they're like enjoying the jams. We're playing music.
Yeah.
They'll come and hit the bag with us. So it's been a perfect
Collaboration. Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. So you then hit my next point. So we can go ahead and move on. So what keeps you motivated? What keeps you continuing with Mittworks and coaching?
I think it's the connection piece.
Mm-hmm.
It's a connection piece. I'm an empty nester now. You know what I'm
Uh-huh.
saying?
Yeah.
I'm an empty nester, and I love the connection piece of trying to help people get through these hard times.
Yeah.
And I've been through some stuff too, but I don't live there.
Yeah.
You know?
That's huge.
Yeah, I don't live there. I'll visit from time to time, but I try not to live there. So I go out and serve, and then I help people and always give. We're not taking anything with us when we leave, you know what I'm saying? So our time spent here is, I want to make it count.
Yeah.
That's my motivation. And then my grandkids too. I like seeing my grandkid. When I see them, man, I love those guys. And my sons. I think that's the key, yeah. Family, connecting, and then making sure I leave this place better than I did when I came, you know.
Yeah, I definitely feel like you have. Like, I can't say that you will because I already know you have. And I see it. I see the change in these kids' lives, and the coaches, and even me. Just I get excited, and you mean a lot to a lot of people here, and I can definitely tell you have made a change, and I know you will continue to make the change. So I'm sure everybody would agree with me, especially Carla. Carla always goes, "That's my Papa Bear. That's my Papa Bear. I got his back. He's got mine. I could come to him with anything." And so I know you mean a lot to a lot of people, and you've made a change. And everybody's excited to see you. I've seen people who don't even come to boxing, just come just to sit with you because you mean so much. And the change you made.
Look at you, man. Look at you.
I'm trying to make you cry now. I cried. It's your turn.
No, I'm not going to cry. I can't cry. Too old to cry.
So, for those wanting to join, what do you suggest that they do?
Just come on by. Come on by. They'll probably see Uncle Josh at the front. Talk to him, and Josh will give them a tour of the gym and come down and just try it out. Just come and show up and just experience.
Yeah.
Just be there. You don't even have to join. You can stand right by the bags or by the rails and just watch and let our energy kind of grab you.
Yeah.
And gravitate. We've seen people come in and say, "Oh, can I try it one time?" And they're like, "It's a done deal."
Try it once.
Yeah, they can't try it once. Then they keep on coming back. And a lot of it is because we don't, and it's not, you have those bins with customer service stuff, but us, it's just natural, man. Danny, I love Coach Danny. He's the quiet greeter. He'd be the champ at Walmart, man. Greeting people. The Walmart would make a killing with him, man.
I don't think he wants to work at Walmart though.
Everybody that comes to the gym, even if they're walking by, "Hey, how you doing, buddy? Hey, what's your name?" "My name's Coach Danny."
Yeah.
And he just has a Mr. Miyagi kind of feel to him,
Yeah.
And people just talk to him. And then he said, "You want to do some mitt work?" And he takes the time to teach.
Yes.
And that's the product right there, bro. Carla, she's the hard-nosed one. That's our gym manager. She's just like hard-nosed, but she keeps things rolling.
Yeah.
She's a single mom. And I appreciate her every day coming to work. She goes through her dailies, and then she comes here and puts on that smile, and she's working out. And then she'll even stay longer.
Yep.
If members want extra work, they stay longer.
Both of them do. They really do make you feel like family and put in the work. Doesn't matter what type of day they had, how long of a day they had. They're here, and they're here for you, and they care about you, just like all the coaches. All the coaches I love.
And another thing with Taylor, I gotta mention that fool right there, because that guy, he's the behind the scenes guy.
Yeah.
He's always behind the scenes, but that guy cares so much about his coaches.
Oh yeah.
He cares so much about his coaches. That's his biggest thing.
Yeah.
I want to make sure everyone's okay, everyone's happy because they're doing good work, and he appreciates you. He's always telling people thank you.
Oh yeah.
He's always coming to people, "Hey, thank you," and I respect that a lot.
Yeah.
And he'll come in and buy stuff for the members, for the kids. When he came in with those huge gloves.
Oh yeah, that was hilarious.
Hilarious.
Everybody loved those huge gloves. I think like Allison had to try with it. Levitt really wanted to spar with him, so I'm glad the kids got to spar with him.
Levitt was
And it's funny, like it's fun, and like it's just that type of environment that really, like you said, makes the change.
Yeah, and it doesn't even feel like at times it doesn't feel like a business.
No.
Taylor doesn't. His thing is he just wants boxing to be for everyone, and we don't want to be gatekeepers of that.
Yeah.
We want boxing. We share everything we do with the members, with everybody.
Yeah.
We welcome everybody. We have shout outs to all the other gyms.
Yeah.
We're not trying to compete. We're just trying to kind of share the love of boxing just like they are.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm going to use your words. If I can do it, everybody can do it.
Oh,
okay?
It's all right. Easy.
Easy. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for letting me interview you. What is one final piece of advice that you'd give to anybody?
I always mention my dad's quote that I live by. You know, walk soft, but always leave deep footprints.
Wow, that's whoo.
Walk
That's
soft, but
good.
leave deep footprints, and that's what I'm doing. Ooh,
Yeah.
gonna make me cry a little bit. But that old dude, man,
Yeah, that's it.
I didn't understand it then, but I understand it now
Yeah,
because he left a footprint, and we're leaving footprints for everyone else to follow.
absolutely. Absolutely. I 1,000% agree with that.
Awesome.
I think we should do some little footprint bracelets now.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Put that in the works.
Well, thank you so much, Coach Bear, and I'm so glad that we were here and able to have this conversation and learn a little bit more about you.
Awesome. Shout out to you, and I really love the show. I love the title, Power in Every Size. That's so empowering. It's powerful. Very powerful.
Yeah.
And shout out to the sound guy, MacGyver. Yeah. Josh, appreciate you, man.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay. Take care. That's it? Can I do a jig or something or a dance?
Yeah, do a jig. Go. Get us out.
I want a country song, an outro.